How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be looking at Zenonzard. Zenonzard is the very first game that I've ever seen like this, and it's an AI-based TCG. And the way it works is you are given a character, which is also called a codeman, and your codeman is going to be your AI. And your AI is going to learn as you learn. So as you become better at the game, your AI becomes better at the game. And your AI is going to be helping you construct decks. They're going to be helping you decide what cards should be played in certain scenarios whenever you're playing ranked and so on. And also, there's no kind of roping in this game because you yourself are playing against the opponent's AI. So you're not playing against other players whenever you're playing ranked and so on. You're playing against their AI, which is essentially an extension of them. And it's fantastic because the more you play, the better your AI becomes, and the better you become essentially as well, because they're kind of coaching you, and then eventually you're coaching them. It's fantastic. It's really, really unique, and it's something I've never seen before. And guys, use hashtag ZenonzardACI on Twitter and Facebook to connect with other guys, but most importantly, remember to download Zenonzard in the description below for your chance of receiving 240 to 500 free cards. Enjoy. Alright, let's choose our codeman. Our codeman is going to essentially be the character which we have throughout the entirety of Zenonzard. So it's going to be your AI. So you're going to be constantly interacting with this person. They're going to be an extension of you essentially, because they're going to learn from you. You're going to kind of learn from them. And yeah, you can pick the one which looks most like you, or the one which looks the least like you, or anything else in between. So you maybe want to kind of read their background. You want to kind of hear what their voices sound like. Yeah, like each one has a different AI. So Thief AI, the other wee dude was Mascot AI. This guy looks kind of badass. One thing I'm 100% like impressed by with Zenonzard is the art. The art on the cards, the art on the AI. Hey, she looks kind of badass. Dual de Vera. Architect AI? Dude, they're all so cool. There's too many to choose from. There's so many to choose from. Yeah, the art is insane. The music's cool, the art's cool. And this is like before we even get to play. Oh, he looks kind of badass. Taylor AI? There's way more than I actually expected to choose from. I was expecting like a solid maybe 6, 7. What in the world? A giant bunny. Oh, dude, he's nuts. I feel like we should probably pick something which is really different, like really outlandish. Like instead of just picking something edgy. Ash Police AI, Ash Code. Alright, we're at the beginning again. Alright, there's so many. There's actually so many. I want to go for somebody kind of badass looking. We don't want to go for somebody standard. Yeah, we'll go for Lul de Vera, will we? Yeah, why not? Why freaking not, boys? Let's go. I have 2 sets of impulses. Edgy. Alright, we have our codeman. Now we need a good deck. So we're going to go codeman deck and then into ranked. So whenever you are constructing a deck, it's actually really, really cool because the AI can help you. The AI can kind of give you a little bit of advice if needed. But I'm going to explain to you what a deck primarily consists of, guys. And a deck primarily consists of cards, of course. But most importantly, it consists of forces as well. So there is essentially 9 forces to choose from. And each force has its own ability and an ability which comes into play whenever it is destroyed. So Cyclops has 100 BP, which is battle points, whenever you play a card on your turn. Which I feel like this is a really, really standard, fun, and great force to have in your deck. I might even end up using Cyclops when I construct my deck. But as you can see, they all have their own passive, and then when destroyed. So whenever you play a card, it will have the passive, and then the when destroyed is whenever it is destroyed. Whenever the enemy attacks and destroys your force, then it kind of pops into play and helps you potentially not get absolutely obliterated next turn. So it's really, really good. It's a really cool approach to the gameplay, and having this as well as life points allows you to kind of construct a different play style and a different mechanism on how you're going to approach different scenarios and different play styles. It's pretty good. So I just went to construct deck by AI, and dude, this looks sick. Hellfire Dragon. Oh my god. The art, again, the art is so good. So whenever you go to construct deck, the AI is going to essentially make a deck around whatever you've already constructed, or you can do a complete fresh AI build. So I can maybe, build half the deck, then get the AI to build the rest of it, or so on and so forth. And or if you just want to potentially let the AI do all the work, you can do that. But essentially, having a little bit of give and take is the best way forward, guys. But we'll see what the AI kind of comes up with, and we'll try it out in ranked to see how good it is. We are rocking, yeah, we are rocking the forces, which I recommended. I picked the forces, and then she constructed a deck around it, which is kind of cool. And as you can see, each card has their own abilities, just like any other card game, guys. And it has their mana cost and their BP. BP is battle points. Mana cost is how much mana it costs. And you can see this is a legend card. It shows you its rarity in the bottom left-hand corner. And yeah, and obviously the top left says 5. That's 5 mana. So 5 mana, 400 battle points, and then it was a rare legend card and had its own unique take. So we'll play this deck in ranked. Hopefully showcase it, show you guys how the game is played, how it progresses, and how the AI kind of helps you along the way. So yeah, as you can see, the AI is a fantastic and a pivotal part of this game, guys. So we'll go into ranked and just kind of see how this deck does. It could be terrible, it could be good, it could be something in between. But yeah, straight into ranked to see how it fares. So we will see. So guys, in each game you play, you can have the AI, the auto, turned on or turned off. And it doesn't mean it's going to auto play. It means it's going to give you a little bit of an idea of how you should play this turn, or what cards to discard, how to mulligan at the beginning. And I'm going to keep it on just for this, just for the game, for the video. But you can turn it off if you want. But most of the time it's good to keep it on, just to kind of have a bit of an idea, because there are points whenever you're playing against certain matchups where you're like, how should I play this out? And having a little bit of a helping hand from your AI. Remember, guys, this AI is learning as you're learning. So the better you play, the better your AI plays, and you kind of become you have a symbiotic relationship. And yeah, so you don't want to keep playing bad, because then your AI isn't really going to learn. So the more you learn, the more your AI learns. So whenever you get into kind of sticky situations and you potentially want to, you potentially want to outplay your opponent, they can be the little helping hand to go, hey, you should probably move this to the field, or you should play this card and so on, but not necessarily always the right choice. So right now it's telling me to attack their force, which is a good idea, but we're going to do 2 damage. As you can see, guys, whenever we're fighting, on the left hand side, that's your mana. All right, so it's very, very simple, but very different to a lot of other card games that I played in the past. I played Hearthstone, I played Magic the Gathering, I've played Runeterra, and it's a very, very unique take on a card game. So you have force on each side. So yeah, she has 2 force and 3 force, and then her life points are what matters the most. So she has 5 life points in the middle, and what we're going to be doing is focusing her life points when we can and if we can. But remember, whenever you are playing this game, that the AI is always going to try and give you a little bit of a helping hand. All right, but it's not always going to be the best choice. So right now, you can actually click and ask why. So if it gives you an idea of what to do, you can click on and go, but why? And then they'll tell you exactly why. And then sometimes you go, I still don't think that's a good idea. And then you'll maybe go against it. But most of the time, it's actually a pretty good idea. So we'll end our turn this turn. As you can see, we have 0 points on our left monster and 2 points on our right. That is the damage which you're going to do to a force or to life points. The BP, the 200 and the 600, is their points in relation to trading against monsters. So that is their points whenever it comes to defending or attacking the monsters in the field. But the 2 and the 0 are what comes into play whenever we are attacking the actual AI or the opponent ourselves. So, and then as you can see under the field, to explain this a little bit further, as you can see on the field, the little kind of grayed out points, that's your mana. Alright, so that is your mana. And you can actually get additional mana by moving monsters from the field into your mana reserve. It's so good. So you can kind of preempt and go, I have a 7-cost card, but I only have 6 mana. I'm going to move a card back onto the field. I can now play, or off the field, I can now play my 7-cost card. Because then you have essentially the mana you need. It's it's a really cool take. And there's a lot of outplay potential put in there as well. So this is going pretty good so far for me. And you're starting to see my force come into play. So I love the green force, specifically because whenever I play a card, it instantly gets 100 plus BP during my phase. Not during their phase, during their turn, but during my turn, my cards get an extra 100 plus BP. You can see it every time, like 100 plus BP. So that went up from 600 to 700. And this stays true for every monster that I play. So, damn, I'm going to play a Hellfire Dragon. We have enough. She doesn't want me to play the Hellfire Dragon. Okay, she wants me to move. Oh, okay, I get you. I get you. She wanted me to move. Oh, okay. Right, she wanted me to move the minion onto the field. Because, oh my god, I can do 2 damage to the life force already. Can he defend against this? Dude, we just won. We just won. That was big, brain. Boys, I feel like if I play my 9-cost, that would have been just GG. Hey, that might have been the fastest and cleanest win of Zenonzard that I've played so far. That was nuts. That was so freaking good. That was really good. And as you can see, whenever you're playing ranked, just like anything, you level up. You get their equivalent of rank points, and your AI levels up. That's the most important thing. Your AI levels up as well. And then their synchro level is how they synchronize with you and how much they've learned from you. So therefore, whenever somebody is fighting you, whenever you're off, you're off the game, they're going to be battling and playing as best as they can, and as much as you as they can. So they're going to be playing as much like you as possible, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. But I am loving this game, guys. It's so freaking good. Yeah, it's way better than I could have ever expected. So check it out. The link's in the description below. Zenonzard, give it a download. It's fantastic. There's so much in it as well, and it's so unique. So give it a go. Try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, enjoy.
To come in waves across the shore. Oh, maybe you could fly my kite, babe. Maybe you could fly my kite, babe. I can hear your laughter come.